49ers have been good in the red zone. Here's Jennings, and he's going to take it in after breaking tackles. Purdy picked again, third one.
You just kind of wonder what is going through Brock Purdy's mind, because when you start throwing some of those, it does tend to have an effect.
Austin McCaffrey gets blocking and a touchdown. Little shoulder fake, end zone shot. He's got the rookie touchdown, McMillan, and the Panthers are back in it. Young over the middle and intercepted by Brown for the second time. And that, as they say, is that.
And this, as they say, is this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to First Take. Shae Cornette here. Stephen A. Smith is over there. Jeff Saturday and Chris Canty.
Let's go.
Our usual Tuesday crew.
It's too much blue with Jeff Saturday right now. He got the royal blue on with the baby blues. Just too much blue right now.
A lot of blue. A lot of blue.
Jeff Saturday, the third blues brother.
I know my color wheel. I know my color wheel.
Hey,
Jeff Saturday. Good morning, Shae. Good morning, CC. Hey, Jeff Saturday. The blue. I approve that.
I love it.
He likes it. All right, let's go to last night. The 49ers took care of business at home against the Panthers last night. It wasn't always pretty.
Yeah.
For Purdy, I should say. His second start back from a toe injury. Purdy up and down through 3 interceptions in the first half alone. Christian McCaffrey was good, right? Rushing for 89 yards, catching for 53. Niners win it 20-9. Jeff Saturday in the blue. Does anyone still believe at this point they won the game? Wasn't, I wouldn't say a complete great win, but do you believe they could win the NFC?
I do believe they could win the NFC. And listen, last night was not Brock Purdy's best performance. He struggled right to 3 interceptions, but it is his second game back, and he's got some progression to work. And here's the thing I want to say about the interceptions. It wasn't necessarily, a lot of times you compare, like, is it a physical thing or a mental thing? I didn't think he made mental mistakes. I thought the ball was behind or late, which tends to happen when guys aren't in games or in game-like situations. I think, the horn interception early, it looked like it was kind of on the backside of it, and I know there was a safety coming down, but you got to put that ball in tight. So just some physical mistakes. The one over the top in the end zone is a shot play. Kittle's wide open, but they want to take that shot. Bad ball. So those are physical errors I think he picks on. Here's the thing. The 49ers are 8-4. I know they're the last, but they've already beaten the Rams one time in overtime. They've shown you they can put this together, and that's without Purdy, right? You got Mac Jones, Purdy, whichever one's coming in out. This team, Shanahan has done a remarkable job of keeping this team together and playing, and that's with injuries across their defense. They keep finding ways to win. And listen, don't minimize the Carolina Panthers last night. That team had played good. Bryce Young's off his best game ever. This was a team that has upset some people. I thought they did a good job. Good enough to win when you're not your best is a big deal in the NFL.
Yeah, Bryce Young was awful last night. Interception that he threw, first and goal from the 3-yard line. Absolutely brutal.
Can't do it.
But here's the problem that I have with you saying the 49ers can win the conference. There are some clear warts when it comes to this particular team. And it starts with the injury front. Now, Rob Saleh has done an incredible job at being able to overcome that and mitigate the losses of Nicky Bosa and Fred Warner.
Yeah.
But let's not mistake it. Those are your two best players on that side of the ball. Those are going to be damn near insurmountable, especially when your quarterback is turning it over at the clip that we're seeing from Brock Purdy. He's had 4 starts this year, 3 of them, multiple interceptions.
Yeah.
That's not going to get you to where they want to go. I think they're a product of a soft schedule, much more so than this team's record being an indicator of what's to come in the future. Remember, coming into this season, they had the easiest strength of schedule in the entire NFL.
Right.
And so I think that where they sit right now is more a byproduct of that as opposed to an indicator for what this team can accomplish.
But some of the foundational stuff, they have a good offensive line. They got a great running back. They got a great tight end. Like, there's pieces and parts that if Purdy gets his part down, they can control the speed and the execution of the game to help Saleh and that defense. That's why I'm
Easiest strength of schedule, yes, but I don't think anyone thought the NFC West would be this good where they are now. Go ahead, Stephen A.
I'm not feeling you on this, Jeff Saturday. I'm with CC on this, and I think that the last part that Shae just brought up is apropos. There's too many good teams in the NFC to think that this version of the San Francisco 49ers could come out of the NFC. Brock Purdy's got 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. 7 interceptions and 8 touchdowns in his 4 starts, okay? He has not been impressive, all right? So we got to get that. The 3 interceptions that he threw, all for 20 yards or more. A lot of air under the ball, no zip. You know what? It wasn't, you don't see him with a rifle of an arm. So we got to take that into consideration. CC brought up the absence of Bosa and Warner. We know about that. How about the absence of Brandon Ayuk as well? He's no longer there with them the way that he once was. He's hurt, rather. Deebo Samuels is gone, okay? There's but so much reliance that you could put on a Christian McCaffrey and a George Kittle. I know Kyle Shanahan can call the game. I know he can coach the game or what have you. And they're a good team. They're a respectable team. But you're talking about 2 cornerstones of their franchise, 2 elite defensive players that are out. They do seem a bit softer. They don't seem as hardcore as they've been in the past defensively. Christian McCaffrey can only do but so much. That's an injury waiting to happen the more you put the ball in his hands. We know how electrifying he is when he's on the field. 142 yards from scrimmage last night. Just another display of his greatness. But durability is a question mark. The more you have to depend on him, the more trouble that you're in. The year they went to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, what were we looking at? Yeah, he was playing electrifying once he got traded from Carolina to San Francisco. The flip side to that is that they had an abundance of parts around him playing at an elite level where even though he was great, you didn't need him to do that in order to win because you had other people that could get it done. That's not the case right now. So you take that into account. You look at Philly, you look at Dallas now, who can't be ignored. You look at damn near the 3 of the teams in the NFC North in Chicago, Detroit, and Green Bay. You still got to pay attention to somebody in the South. Carolina's not bad. It's just Tampa Bay might be a little bit better, but they don't have Evans. They don't have Godwin. We get that. And then you look at the NFC West as ferocious as the Rams and the Seahawks appear to be defensively. I know San Francisco has won one of those games in their conference, but I'm just saying I think it's a little bit too much to ask. This is not the San Francisco of old. I'm not going with that at all. I do not believe for 1 second that they can win the NFC conference.
I also want to say that I think it's a small advantage of what Stephen A. just said that they do play in the NFC West because you're seeing the best.
Advantage, you think?
Advantage, yeah, because you're playing the teams that you think are the best with the Seahawks and the Rams. If those are the best,
what
teams,
about the notion of getting beat up?
You feel pretty prepared to go out there and lock it up with them. See, so you and I both know anything can happen in those games. I think that's another small advantage of all 3 teams.
But what about the notion of them getting beat up is what I'm asking. The fact that you're going up against those Rough Riders that can beat you up if you're not the kind of team you used to be. That could be detrimental.
Yeah,
not
for
something
sure.
Considered advantageous.
For sure on the injury side, Stephen A., like what you're talking about with C-Mac especially, right? Like if you have to, basically run your whole offense through him, can he take care of all that? Will his body stay fresh? But I think when you get accustomed to playing the best teams and you feel comfortable going to line up against them, I think all the NFC West teams will actually have an advantage as they walk into playoffs. These are good teams that are built to win. And listen, Robert Saleh can coach some freaking defense now. He can coach some defense. I get players are down. My man, he puts on displays. I just got a lot of respect there.
I'm talking about my man Chris Canty here and his size. It's enough now. Canty Can't Trust is the name of the segment. He's going to lay out some teams that maybe we shouldn't trust for whatever reason.
Okay.
Canty, the floor is yours. Who can you not trust in the National Football League?
So we're going to kick this thing off with the Chicago Bears. And listen, 3-1-2, don't get mad at me, Shae. Don't get mad at me.
I'm an 8-4-7 girl. I'm already mad at you.
I can't trust your team, though, right now. And the reason why I can't trust your team is because of a couple of reasons. The quarterback off-target percentage is one of the things that concerns me the most. This guy hasn't turned the football over a lot, but if you watch the games, there are a lot of turnover-worthy plays. He should have thrown 2 to Kyle Duggar in that Pittsburgh Steelers game. Caleb Williams has got to find a way to be able to rein that in. The other thing that we got to count, the strength of schedule for the Chicago Bears. The team that they beat, the only one team that they beat with a winning record this season was the team they just beaten, the Pittsburgh Steelers, with their backup quarterback. It's their first win against a team that was over 500 this season. Already at this point in the season, they've had the second easiest strength of schedule. It gets a lot tougher for the Chicago Bears from here on out, with 5 of their 6 remaining opponents having 7 or more wins. So that's what the Chicago Bears have to contend with. I still think they're a playoff team. They're just not going to win the NFC North.
Oh, wow.
Stephen A., go ahead.
I got to give – I'm going to disagree with you from this standpoint. You know what? All we can go by is what we've seen thus far. And what we've seen thus far, which is an aberration from anything that we've seen from them in very recent memory, is that they win in fourth quarters. They're a physical team. They've got a big-time running game as well. They're opportunistic. They force turnovers. I give credit where credit is due, and I say, hey, show respect for them until further notice.
I tend to agree with Stephen A. This team reminds me of the team I played on with the Indianapolis Colts in 1999. They were 3-13 the year before. We went 13-3 that year. And we found a way to win even when we didn't know how we were winning. We were so young and just didn't really know we weren't supposed to beat these teams. That's kind of how I feel about the Bears. So it'll be interesting. The strength of schedule is going to pick up in a big way.
Oh, yeah.
They're about to really feel it. But I think Caleb Williams is advancing. And to Stephen A's point, their run game has really picked up. Now, the problem with turnovers and living on them is you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you ain't getting them, you can't create those things. You got to make sure you protect the ball. Those things can get iffy. But, man, the Bears, for whatever reason, just feel like this young team. They buy into Ben Johnson, and everybody's on the same page, and that's why they're finding ways.
Hate to do it. I actually agree with Canty. I think I have such PTSD from this team and the way they have broken my heart for the entirety of my entire life. I was not born when they went to the Super Bowl. I was not alive for the Super Bowl shuffle and all that. I've just heard all about it. I'll believe it when I see it. Now, I will say this. It has been a long time since I sat on Thanksgiving Day and I had a good conversation about the Bears. Yeah. I am looking forward to that, and we are playing on Black Friday for a 2 seed. Let's go. Let's slay the Eagles as they're free falling, but I have a hard time trusting them right now as well. Next team.
All right, Jeff Saturday, cover your ears, hide your eyes. I'm going to say this. The Indianapolis Colts are on fraud alert. I can't unsee what I saw a couple of weeks ago against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I can't unsee what we got in Arrowhead this past Sunday in Week 12. You can't end the game with 4 straight 3-and-outs. Yeah. It just cannot happen. And then on why in God's earth would Shane Steichen take the ball first in overtime?
Amen.
Why would you ever do that based on the current rules? What you're telling me is I can't trust the quarterback against good teams. What you're telling me is I can't trust the decision-making of coach when the game gets tight. I can't believe in the Indianapolis Colts. And I talked about the Chicago Bears strength of schedule up until this point, where the Colts have had the easiest strength of schedule up until this point, but that's going to change because they're going to a top 5 strength of schedule with remaining opponents. So the Indianapolis Colts on fraud alert. You can't trust them. They are not Jeff Saturday in my circle of trust.
Oh, Jeff's going to hide? Or you have anything to say?
This is, you know what? I feel like you for the Bears, Shae. This one hurts me. This one hurts because, listen, the Kansas City Chiefs had 33 first downs. The Colts had 10. 10 first downs. And to your point, 4 drives of 3-and-out with, quote, the best offense in football. The Chiefs flat out got Spags, had a great plan against them. And basically what he said is, and he saw the way the Steelers won, same way, same pattern. We shut down Jonathan Taylor. We're going to force Daniel Jones and these receivers, and he's very comfortable with Warren, but he doesn't seem to find that way with the receivers on the outside. Didn't make enough big plays. Teams are going to force the quarterback to win, and right now I'm on shaky ground, which is painful for me to say, but I did not expect what happened in Kansas City to happen. I was shocked by that performance by the Colts and disappointed. I feel you. I'm still riding with the Colts, but this one's scary.
You can still ride with them, but they better find answers to the
no doubt.
Especially
they better find
in the fourth quarter or overtime. Stephen A?
Canty's right. Can't trust the Colts simply because of Daniel Jones. There's no other way to slice it. You look at it and you just say to yourself, whether it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether it's the Kansas City Chiefs, whomever, okay, guys, let's neutralize Jonathan Taylor. Let's load the boxes, do whatever we got to do to stop him. Make Daniel Jones beat us. That's the strategy that people are going to employ. And as the season has waned, after a 7-0 start, we look at them now and we're like, what the hell is going on? Because of Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Daniel Jones has a 29.2 QBR since week 9. Check your notes.
Is that good?
That's not good.
That's
not necessarily good. We got one more?
Yeah.
Who can Canty
this one's going to hurt me. As a former member of this organization, it pains me to say this. Baltimore Ravens, can't trust you. And the reason why I can't trust you, oddly enough, is because of the offense. And I know the defense has been the subject of the ire of a lot of folks in the first half of the season, but it's now flipped on its head.
Yeah, it is.
My former teammate Zach Orr is doing a hell of a job calling the games. They've had 6 straight opponents that they've held under 20 points or less. But the offense is not right. The offensive line is getting exposed, and Lamar Jackson doesn't look healthy.
Amen.
That is a bad combination going into a stretch of the final 6 games where you got 4 dates with AFC North opponents, and those are games against the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals, and then, oh, by the way, thrown in there, the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
It's a tough road to toe for the Baltimore Ravens. Can't trust them. I think we could see the Baltimore Ravens leave the door open for somebody else in the AFC.
Agree with this, because I've heard you be high on the Baltimore Ravens.
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. I do not agree with him. I do not agree with him about this because in one team they don't have a defense, and in the other team they don't seem to have something right when it really, really counts. Whether it's offensively or defensively, when you need the Steelers to make a stop, somehow something gets in the way. When you need them to score a point, somehow something inhibits them. That's the way that it's gone. They were up 4 games weeks ago, and they are now tied for the AFC North. Yeah. This is what they have done. And I'm looking at, I'm not counting on Lamar Jackson continuing to look the way that he's looked. I think that Derrick Henry ultimately will explode. And I think the defense is right at the ship for the most part compared to what we saw from them the first 6 weeks of the season. I do not agree with Chris Canty on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean more towards the Ravens as well. Listen, Lamar Jackson since he came back has not been good.
No,
just be real. And I understand that he looks hurt, he looks injured, he's missing throws that should be open. I mean, that should be completed, and part of that's on him. He doesn't look the same when he pulls the ball down. You know, he's falling down. He's not trying to do the extra. I think whether it's the hammy, the toe, the knee, he's had a litany of injuries. We know this though. If the defense can stay and toe the line they've stayed the past few weeks, they will have opportunities to win because even with a mediocre offense, they can find ways to score more than 20 points. And I think from my perspective, everybody's kind of coming to the mean. They're starting to surge. I think Harbaugh finds a way for this team to stay. I don't think they're going to be the Super Bowl team. With this offense, they can't win the Super Bowl unless their offense improves greatly.
Here's the problem with me going head over heels for the Ravens because of their defense. I have to take into account the opponents that you played.
Sure.
Last week against the New York Jets, starting Tyrod Taylor. The week before that with Dylan Gabriel / Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
You're going to be facing different offenses than what you've seen over recent weeks. So the strength of competition is going to be going up for the Baltimore Ravens. And here's the thing. The offense is not the same if Lamar Jackson can't be dynamic.
I agree.
It's not. If Lamar Jackson can't pull the ball down and run away from defenders, then that completely changes how defenses defend this Baltimore Ravens offense.
Yeah.
Becomes a lot harder for Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell, those guys to get the running game going. I just told you the offensive line hasn't been playing
They haven't been great.
So there's some issues with Baltimore that are foundational, and it make it hard to win as the style of football changes in November and December.
Dan Orlovsky pointed this out yesterday. There's only been 2 instances this season where Lamar Jackson has run for more than 10 yards. Like Lamar Jackson twice this entire season. Now I know he's been banged up, hasn't played in every game, but we're not accustomed to seeing that. So maybe he's not right. I don't know. But they got to face the Bengals twice. He is very good in prime time, is Lamar Jackson. Obviously, he'll be in prime time on Thanksgiving.
Not great against the Steelers, though.
No.
Lamar Jackson, we talk about his record against the Bengals. He ain't great about his record against the Steelers.